Hey everybody, thank you for joining me in on another Lost In, where we talk about cool vehicles that have made their impact in the automotive landscape. Come with me and check these out. Strap in, let's go. So today we're talking about the Fiat Uno, a global icon of practicality and performance. Born in 1983, the Fiat Uno, it was a compact powerhouse that left an indelible mark on automotive history. Just a perfect car for Lost In. Get this, it was also designed by the legendary Giugiaro Giugiaro Giugiaro. The Uno embodied intelligent, space-saving design, echoing Giugiaro's earlier Lancia Mega Gauntlet in a more condensed form. With over 8.8 million units built, it stands as the 8th most produced automobile platform of all time, a testament to its enduring appeal and widespread adoption. The European genesis and unrivaled success, internally known as Type 146, arrived on the European scene January 1983 and was the replacement for the Fiat 127, a very beloved car. This design prowess translated exceptional interior space, remarkable fuel economy, and surprisingly agile handling. Yeah, the launching of the Fiat Uno was definitely strategic, arriving to the market just before the highly anticipated Peugeot 205, and just shortly after GM's introduction of the Opel Corsa. The Uno quickly carved out a niche for itself and became a very formidable competitor to its rivals, such as the Ford Fiesta and the Nissan Micra. The popularity of the Uno in the UK just soared, rocketed off. Yes, success! Over 20,000 units were sold in its first year. Boom, yes! In 1988 was the peak. Over 44,000 units were sold. Don't think that the automotive world didn't take notice of this awesome little vehicle, because in December 1983, the Uno received the European crown of Car of the Year. Boom, success! The early Uno models were definitely powered by a range of efficient motors from 0.9 liters to 1.3 liters, largely carried over from the 127 line. Fiat's unique badging philosophy was to indicate metric horsepower. That's kind of a mind-boggler to us in the West, but it worked out for them. It really added to the distinctive character of these little Fiats. This car also pioneered early ergonomic switch gears. That's really cool, allowing drivers to operate key functions with their hands on the steering wheel. It's not like breaking edge technology, but it's very thoughtful for the time. In 1985, Fiat released the Uno Turbo IE. This had the effect of turning this Super Mini into a hot hatch. This was quite the punch this little three-door marvel packed. With a tiny little 1.3 motor, it wasn't a slouch. It got up and hauled. It had the Bosch multi-tip fuel injectors. It had about 104 horsepower in that pony barn of its. Its top speed was about 127 miles per hour, but it did solidify itself amongst some of the fastest hot hatches of the era. Despite its awesome little motor, the IE had a host of visual markers and upgrades. The body was pretty much a sports package with upstaged brakes, upstaged struts and shocks, so the suspension was a bit tighter. It was a pretty good little racer. The Uno's versatility extended on past simple gasoline motor. There was a 1.3 diesel engine, pretty cool, and this was introduced in mid-1983. It was primarily for the Italian market, offering a very impressive fuel economy for them. And in 1986, I believe they got like a 1.7 or 1.8 diesel that came into the Italian market as well. So cool little motors if you get your hands on one. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, that was also the only Uno that was sold in the UK. And I think one step beyond this diesel was a turbo diesel called the turbo diesel D. So some really cool motors were over there in Europe at this time. They always, get the best toys. The Uno's global footprint was very significant. In Brazil, it was produced as the Uno S. And the Brazilian's Uno might have looked like a Uno, but the underpinnings came from the Fiat 147. So it was basically a Fiat 147 rally underneath that nice new skin. One of the cool factors between the European and Brazilian Unos. It gave it much more unique engine options and suspension. It got a significant facelift in 1989. Debuting at the Frankfurt Motor Show, the aerodynamics were slightly improved upon. A conventional steering column and a new dashboard also came with this new facelift Uno. Kind of new styling altogether. 1995 saw the Fiat's production end in Italy. No more. With over 6 million units manufactured. However, its story wasn't over yet. No sir, you can't take a good car down, because the Uno's longest production run was in Brazil. Yes, where it was manufactured until 2014. Yeah, that dog got some legs. Brazilian built Unos, known as Mele Economy and Uno Forgal, were immensely popular down here, with a total of 3.6 million Unos produced, built between its 30-year production here. Wow, salute you, sir. Brazil really showcased the platform's adaptability, and there was even a new era of this little thing, called the Uno Nova, resurrecting the Fiat Uno name back in 2010 for the Brazilian market. The new Uno, Nova Uno, was an entirely new car engineered here in Brazil. Coming from the style of the Turan Central Fiat, this was a new urban interpretation of the Nova. It derived its styling from the Fiat Panda. It was larger, roomier than the original. The Fiat's Uno journey from a little tiny econo car to a hot hatch to a global workhorse, highlighting its incredible design, practicality, and an enduring appeal. It truly was one of the little automotive giants that rose to the occasion, providing reliable, economic transportation to countless families around the world. Well, that ends the little story of the Uno. Tell me down in the word box if you've seen one of these, if you've had one of these. Overall, what do you think of the Uno? Let me know. I always love reading your guys' input. It's always a pleasure getting to talk with you guys. Make sure you give a thumbs up, and if you're not subscribed, join us. And like I always say, I'll see you on the flip side. Até a próxima. Ciao, ciao.
In Japan, we have old Chinese proverb. It say, good is good, but number one is better. Now, this wretched car, so well engineered, and it's top imported car in Germany. Why not we? It's big, and you British think it's excellent good value for money. But what worst of all, it's number one best-selling small car in Europe, and it's not from Japan.
The Fiat Uno, absolutely the number one best-selling small car in Europe.